Morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. First things first, Happy New Year. And if you celebrated the regional festivals last week, hope you had a wonderful time with your family and friends. Thank you for joining us again at the Collaborative Apps Roundtable. We've got a really cool session planned. House rules. If you have a question, feel free to use the chat and just ask questions. We've got plenty of folks from Microsoft who are alongside to help answer those. Of course, during the flow of the session, if you've got a question that you just want to unmute and ask, you can also unmute and ask. But if you don't have, it'll be awesome if you can remain muted. It's a request so that we keep going. Okay, and I've dropped a link in the chat for all the other collaborative app sessions that we've done in the past. Feel free to check them out. And during the course of the session, post the session, if you've got any questions relating to the highlights that we showed today, or in general, if there are any apps that you want to enable in your organization within Teams that you've been using outside Teams, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to write to your Microsoft point of contact, your customer success manager, and we will set up dedicated sessions to help enable those applications. With no further ado, let's talk about how we can do more with less using Jira Cloud on Teams. Um, this is the truth of the matter. With all the hybrid work in place, with all of us in different situations, using across different devices, even things that happened before the pandemic, during and post pandemic, we are seeing a lot of drain in terms of the number of applications, and this is very typical of small organizations, but very typical also of like very large organizations where there's plenty of interactions that happen, but then there is double work that happens when you have to go back and update those applications or share that information. It doesn't seem to happen in the flow of work. Users need to go to applications. The applications never seem to come to users where they are, and people keep switching context, keep moving between applications instead of actually having focused conversations and making things happen in the flow of work. And that is where collaborative apps make a big difference in terms of bringing all these experiences to one place where people spend most of their time already, and allowing them to interact with information, allowing them to create new information by bringing those apps and tools where they work, whether it's in a chat or you are having a discussion in a channel or in a meeting like this where you want to like quickly make changes to something else. Can we bring that app within this meeting itself? That's sort of the thought process of being able to do things in the flow of work by bringing the applications to the user. Within Teams, of course, there are a lot of applications that are ready to use, partner apps, which you might be using outside of Microsoft Teams. We have a app store within Teams where you can go and find all these applications and start using them. But Teams also offers a platform which allows you to build custom applications. You might have very unique scenarios or processes for your organization. So you have the capability to build end-to-end applications to solve for those scenarios. In this session, of course, we are going to be focusing on those ready-to-use applications. There are well over 1,500 apps, I've lost the recent count, of apps that are free for you to choose from. A lot of these, if you already have licenses for them outside of Teams, you can start using them within Teams. And there are quite a few which are free to try. So if you're looking for solutions, if you're looking for an application that can solve for a specific problem, go to the App Store. It would be within Teams on your left app bar. You would find a button called Apps, and that takes you to the App Store. And we have apps across various themes and categories, and that solves for a number of different processes and scenarios. And we've seen massive growth in this section. So I implore you to definitely try this out. I want to touch upon do more with less. This has been our go-to and our theme in so many ways. And what does it mean when it comes to Microsoft Teams? What do we mean? How can I bridge collaborative apps working in Teams and the whole theme of do more with less? Personally, to me, it's do more collaboration with less effort. And that ties into doing work in the flow. You want to create a digital space for your employees and for your organization where they're able to come together more, break those boundaries of being hybrid or being remote, and they're able to collaborate more where they spend time the most, but with less effort. Now, when I say collaboration, it's across different processes where they could be solving problems. You have managers who are trying to plan things or strategize. You have product or dev folks who are trying to like solve problems. You have so many other teams across the board who are trying to coordinate and innovate and make things happen. So collaboration is a large theme, but in reality, we could be doing so many specific tasks underneath that. And to be able to do any of that and more of that with less effort, with ease, and that means within lesser time, removing the barriers of switching between context or like having difficulty in completing those tasks. That is what do more with less really encapsulates. Being able to quickly get things done in the flow of your work, where it cuts down on the miscommunication that could potentially happen, or breaks down any of the time that you could save, and where your resources can actually spend more time on more critical tasks. Because any of those repetitive ones, any of these that could be automated, any of these that could be instantly done, wherever you are within teams, we won't enable that to happen. And I'm so glad that we are focusing on one such app today, which actually goes across personas, goes across different processes that organizations use, and ties into many of these small tasks that I've written, and how it can actually help in saving time or reducing the difficulty and reducing context switching, a whole lot of it. This is a very unique application. It's a truly one of a kind experience that we have. And I'm so glad to actually invite Kiran, who's on the call with us. Kiran, you are currently on mute. Just want to give you a heads up. But yeah, Kiran's a product manager who's actually dialed in from the other side. Thanks, Kiran, for letting us eat into your dinner time. But yeah, if you could tell us a little bit about Jira Cloud and Jira's offering on Teams and what this app does to us.
Thanks, Harish. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me. Super excited to be here. As Harish mentioned, I'm a product manager on the Microsoft Teams product, and I am here to talk to you because I work very closely with the Jira team, and so I'm excited to represent Jira and talk to you a little bit more about this app and dive into a little details and help you understand how awesome this is. So with that, let's move in. Switch to the next one. Yeah, so before I go into Jira too deeply, I wanted to first give you an idea of all the Atlassian products and where Teams and Atlassian comes together. So Atlassian is one of the largest like DevOps and web SaaS products out there. They have a suite of all different kinds of software that allows you to do things from planning, tracking, doing customer support, collaborating, and all things software development related. And Atlassian has built Teams integrations for a good chunk of these. And the ones that you see the Teams icon next to the names are the ones that already have an awesome Teams app that you can, if you use the software on its own, you can find the app in Teams and get notified, collaborate with others with these same products. But today we're going to be focusing on Jira software. This is their most popular one and the most used one as well. And because there's such a lot of interest in here, we're going to dive a little deeper and learn more about how Jira and Teams come together. And even outside of Jira, Atlassian and Microsoft products have a lot of overlap and integrations built. So across Teams, we saw a bunch of the products that have integrations. On Office 365, there's a bunch of plugins there. We have lots of dev tools that integrate. And even on Azure, you can find some of the same kinds of integrations that are across the other Microsoft products. Moving on. Waiting for this to load. There we go. So first up, just in case you're not familiar with what Jira is a web-based SaaS solution that helps track issues and project, any type of issues, any type of projects. It's a very comprehensive platform on its own. This screenshot right here is meant to show you all the different kind of things that you can do with Jira. It allows you to set up a project, assign tasks to people, tag people, mention them, set up dependencies, milestones, so any kind of project-related work that you'd like to do, Jira is a great solution for that. And as I understand, since most of you probably already use Jira, I'll move on and talk a little bit more about the kind of use cases and personas that usually are associated with Jira. So the kinds of personas are usually around, not necessarily on software development, but you started off with software development. So with QA testing, project managers, any kind of product work, Scrum Masters, if you have daily stand-ups, you can use Jira for that. And then the kind of scenarios that you would use them with is to manage tasks. If you have agile meetings, you can use it for that. If you gather requirements and need to keep track of that, test cases, and so on. And now let's get to the best part, which is the Jira Teams app. So Jira built a Teams app that brings the best of the Jira capabilities that you need to collaborate with into Teams. So if you're using Jira outside of Teams, you can get the same kind of functionality within Teams and share and collaborate with your coworkers right within Teams without having to switch back and forth between the website and Teams. So right now, the Jira app has integrated almost all of the functionalities that we have available in Teams. So you can send chat messages and insert a Jira issue ticket in there. You can get notified when anyone comments on your Jira tickets, and a whole bunch more things that we'll cover as part of the demo later on. But it's a very comprehensive app. It also works on mobile. So if you pull up Teams on your mobile device and open up the Jira app there, it works really well, and it's compatible with our mobile experience as well. And one question we always get related to Jira is the difference between Jira's cloud version and Jira on-prem, sometimes referred to as data center, sometimes referred to as Jira server. So the main difference between these two is that the one on the left, which is the Jira Cloud solution, is completely hosted by Jira. No data is hosted by you. Everything's handled by the Jira company themselves. And the corresponding Teams app is called Jira Cloud. The one on the right is where if you have a BYOK, which is bring your own key solution, you would use the Jira Server app. And this is something that they recommend going against because it's much easier to use the cloud version. But if you still have some kind of data security, privacy, or compliance reasons, and you still use an on-prem solution, the app that you would use in Teams is the Jira Server app. And we'll drop this link that you have in the slide. So if you'd like to learn more about that, you can go there. And in case it wasn't already clear, if you have a Jira user account or license, the Teams integration comes completely free. You don't have to pay anything extra. All the features in the Teams app is fully available to you as part of your Jira license. So if you have an M365 subscription and you have Teams available, all you need to do is add the Jira app to your Teams and start using it. And we've already got customers who have used this and are finding amazing value from it. Nothing more to say other than go ahead and try it out. With that, that sums up my part of it. Harish, anything you want to add before I hand it off to Raghav?
No, that was fantastic. I'm just going to pause here to check if anybody has any questions before we move on to the demo side. We have close to over 100 people or more today, and want to check because there might be people who are already using it or people who are exploring it, and organizations obviously using it for various processes, like could be product management, program management, product development. So yeah, just going to take a minute here to see if anybody has any questions, anything you want to ask about the app that you've already tried out or you want to know more about. Feel free to unmute and ask your questions. Oh, and we've got a poll running as well.
After seeing the demo, then only I can able to ask that question.
100%. We're going to block time towards the end for plenty of questions. But yeah, at this point, if there are no questions, we'll carry on. Raghav, if you're in the house, thank you, Kiran. Thanks so much for joining us and sharing those insights. Definitely stick around, and if there are questions that come towards the end, we'll need your help. And we've got a poll running for those who are who can see. You got a pop up that we'd love to know. If you've done a POC of Jira already within Teams, if you've started using it or if you plan to use it, that'll give us an insight into the flavor of the audience. But Raghav, if you're in the house, it's all yours now. If you can do a demo of Jira on Teams and tell us what's going on.
Hey, thanks, Rish. I hope you guys can hear me and also see my screen.
Yes, hear you and see the screen.
All good.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Thank you. So as Kiran mentioned, there are various use cases as well as personas who will be using Jira day in and day out basis. So I'm using two personas here, Nestor and Lee. Nestor is a project manager and Lee is software developer, right? And if you look at Jira use cases, broadly categorized into three buckets: adopt to change in real time, stay in the flow with the updates you want, where you work, and bring clarity and context to the conversation. So under each of these buckets, we have various scenarios that we want to cover. So the integration itself is pretty straightforward, right? All about go to the apps and finding the Jira app. If you search Jira here, you will be able to find Jira Cloud. Jira server version depends on whether you have Jira SaaS service or Jira data center version, right? So you click on it and there are various contexts here. You can add it to chat, meeting, or as an individual app, personal app, or into specific teams as well. So going back to the scenario here, we have Nestor in the left side and also Lee on the right. They are working on a project. Basically it's an imaginary electronics company. They're launching a mobile app. They received a feedback from Megan about the checkout process, and the feedback is, can we streamline the checkout flow? Current process is tedious and all that, right? So what Nestor does is, as a project manager, needs to add this to Jira as a task instead of switching context and going and finding out where this Jira URL is in the bookmarks or somewhere. You can go ahead and add that task directly from the Teams itself, right? Within the channel, sorry, within the Teams, you can go and add Jira app into that particular particular channel. So based on our research, once you switch the context, it's hard to come back and start working on it again. So this will give you that flow. So now, if you click on this and go ahead and click on more actions, you can go ahead and create issue in Jira. So as soon as you click on it, it will open up a task module. It is connected to Jira site. And also, as you can see, it's a mobile application launch project that I'm working on. So this is a task that I'm going to create. Probably I would like to change it a little bit, add more context to the description and everything. So I can also summarize it as streamlined checkout flow or anything like that. And also I can add any additional information that I want to, right? So what Nestor does is it will create this task in the Jira. So, sorry, is there a question?
No, we're good.
Okay, so now that this Jira ticket is created, so Lee, as a software developer, can go to the Jira and look into the streamline checkout flow task itself, right? So if you click on it, you can see, okay, it's unassigned. Probably you can pick it up and all that. So what you will do is you will assign it to himself. So as soon as it does it, Nestor, as a project manager, receives a Jira notification saying, hey,
Oh, Raghav, I think you.
Hey, Raghav. Yeah, you've gone on mute.
Sorry.
Just lost you for the last 10 seconds. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So Lee assigned the request to himself. So that triggered a notification to Nestor. So Nestor can go ahead and add comment or look at the status change as well. Here you can see unassigned to the Lee right? So as far as notifications are concerned, you can go ahead and make changes on, or you can custom personalize the notifications, what you want to receive. If someone mentions you or activities that you're following, activity on assigned users, comment on your assigned issues, and so on and so forth. So user can go and personalize itself, right? And also you can change the sites from where you want to receive the notifications from. This is a very useful feature, right? So as you can see, we are not leaving the context of Teams. We are working on Teams and various projects, and we are still in the Teams for the Jira interactions as well. So
hey, Raghav, I've got a question. The
Mhm.
notifications, this can be changed at any point of time. Like when I first start using the app, I set up a set of notifications, and then let's say my projects change or my role changes, and I'm still on, like I still want to continue on Teams, and I can personalize it right later on.
Absolutely. So that's a very good question, Harish. So yes, at any point in time, you can click on make changes, and you'll be able to customize the notifications that you get, or personalize the notifications that you get, right? So these are all the selections that I've made. I've selected everything now. Okay, so now Lee assigned this to, Lee's a software developer. He assigned this ticket to himself, and he says, okay, hey, Nestor, can we please connect on this, right? You will add that into the comments. So automatically, as you can see, Nestor received a notification because he was mentioned in the ticket, right? So now they decide, okay, well, let's collaborate and work on this. So they have meetings set up. I've done it already just to save some time. So what they will do is Nestor will start the conversation here. So and join the meeting. And also Lee joins the meeting as well. So I'll continue without audio and video. Join here, right? So as you can see, they are in a conversation discussing about what to do with this feature, what help they need, and all that. So they can go ahead and add additional app here, or sometimes you can find it directly. This is a recent app, so I can go and add this. So Nestor will add it. So as you can see, on the right side, you can select the issue or ticket that you're working on. So you can see, okay, I selected you can see this on the right side of the Lee's meeting window as well. So they can start collaborating on this. They can be on the same page and then probably search different tickets, add comments, edit it, and all that. So this allows this brings more context in the meeting. So you don't have to switch between, for example, you can directly go to the original message where this whole conversation started. That is Megan Brown providing the feedback, right, in the specific Teams channel, right? So with that, they can make changes. They can add like story point estimate and everything. So this can be used in a daily stand-up meeting as well that you might have. And also change labels if they want to, and also they can change the status and everything, right? So they can add attachment directly from the Teams meeting itself. So imagine a scenario without this meeting extension or side panel. You have to go to the Jira site itself to find out what's happening, remember the URL and all that. So we are bringing that the side panel. We're bringing that context into the Teams meeting itself. So they discussed, they agreed, they assigned the points and everything. They disconnected. It's
Hey,
all good
Raghav,
now. Yeah, sorry.
I just want to add a comment. This is like truly do more with less, because you're in the meeting. You're right. You would typically share your screen, open an application, or you're in the meeting and you've got it open on a browser and you're switching back and forth. Everybody on the call is probably like switching back and forth, trying to update it, or they take notes and they go on and update it later. So you're either doubling down on work or you're switching context, except in this case, the app is actually there and everybody is right there with the application itself to actually get work done. That's actually fantastic. Do more collaboration with less effort. That's awesome. Thanks, Raghav.
Absolutely. Okay, so now they discussed over the team meeting that they need help with their design team to make some changes to the UI. So what Lee does is he will go ahead and click on reply, and he will add a comment to the Jira ticket saying that I am working with a design team or anything like that, I'll just post a comment. So again, that comment will be sent as a notification to Nesta that Lee is working on it, and there is a new update on the request that he has made. So now what Lee does is, okay, fine, this is great. Let me go ahead and reach out to my design team if they can help me with this, right? Anyone wishes to collaborate on anything like that. So again, Jira extension here. So Jira extension here. So you can go and search the ticket directly from here. So I remember the keyword checkout. Let me see if I can find that here. Yeah, so streamline checkout flow. So you can add comment here, need help with design. Could someone pick this up, right? And you can send it to the designer team's channel itself, and anyone who's available can go ahead and add comment and open it in Jira and navigate to there, or probably accept it, and they can be added as a designer to that particular project and assign specific tasks or subtasks within the teams itself. So now, just to recap, it started
Raghav,
with
sorry to stop you. Randir, yeah, you have your hand raised, so go for your question. Oh, sorry, no question.
Sorry, that was a mistake.
No, my bad. Sorry. Go on. Sorry, Raghav.
No problem. So just
I have one question.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So, so this particular when we navigate to the apps and then we go to the Jira service. So this is something that will be visible for an individual. So is there a provision you can do it at an org level so that not everybody has to go and click on the apps and then go to the Jira service and then. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Shruti, could you repeat your question? Sorry,
Yeah.
We're not able to catch that question correctly. There's a lot of noise in the background.
What initially Raghav showed is how we get this Jira service here is we go to the apps, and then there is this list of applications that are there available, and we can just go and click on the Jira service and it is available, and then we get the tickets and everything in that in the chat window itself, right? So I'm just asking, so this is something that each individual has to do in their Teams app, right? In the organization.
Not necessarily.
So can we do it in org level? That's what I'm asking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can push the apps at org level. Yeah, Rish, sorry.
Yeah, I can share information on this, Shruti, but yeah, your Teams admin can, from the admin side, let's say your entire organization uses Jira and everybody already has Jira license, they can actually, from the Teams admin center, install the app and even pin the app on the left rail. So if you can see in Raghav's screen, yeah, he's got the app already on his app bar on the left rail. So that can be pushed by the admin for everybody in the organization, pre-installed and pre-pinned.
By the team, not the Jira admin, right? Teams admin.
No, the Teams admin. So the Teams admin can ensure the Jira app within Teams is available and installed for everybody, so that nobody has to do any action, but the app is already there for them to just start using. That can be done.
Okay.
Yeah. I can definitely share more information on this on chat.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah, Kiran, just to add one more point, like, does it consume licenses by pushing this app through Teams? I hope it doesn't consume Jira licenses, right?
No, it doesn't. This only connects to your existing license that you have with Jira. So whatever user that you're logging in with, they would log in with their existing license into Jira. So nothing new happens or no new provisioning happens.
Okay. So one more thing we have noticed while using Jira from Teams, there is a slowness. Is it expected, or is there any such feedback from customers, and what is your input on this?
I would love to learn more about where you're seeing the slowness. Is it in getting notifications or when you're trying to load the app?
When we try to load the app.
So when you try to open it like Raghav did here and say try to create an issue, you're seeing a slowness there?
Right.
Yeah, and I guess we might have to dig into what kind of Jira. Are you using the on-prem or cloud?
It is
Do you
cloud.
know? Cloud. Okay. So in that case, it might be worth raising a support ticket with either Atlassian or Jira to raise that issue to make sure that all the configuration is right.
Okay.
So that if there's something else going on, we can dig a little deeper. But that seems unusual.
Okay. Second, is there a way to identify how many people in the organization accessing Jira through Teams?
Yeah, the team's admin, they should be able to have a report of the different folks using the different applications.
Okay, can you give the reference link
Yes,
so that I
yes.
can share with my team's administrator to provide such details so that we'll get to know how many people really actively using and we can create such awareness for people who are not using and we can at least make the benefit of this.
100%. I'll share the link on where the admins can find that report. And we'll also share a form at the end of the session. So if you can reach out to us, we can work with you to see how we can help with the adoption of the application. And
Okay.
what sort of how we can strategize communications or any other campaign that will help in more adoption of this app. But thank you, Ram. That was a really good question.
Yeah.
See one
And
more
one
hand.
more last
Oh, sorry.
question.
Yes.
Yeah, one more
No,
last
go for it.
question. Is there a way to, you can say, publish some notification to the end users about this change, like say Jira is available to access from Teams, kind of like say notification to the users from Teams?
Not from Jira app directly, but like we mentioned before, if you know that there's a certain set of maybe your entire company or like a full organization has Jira licenses, you could pre-install it for those users and pin it to the left rail like some of these other apps so that they see it and they'll at least be able to click and try it out once. So that's a possibility.
Reason is even though we push all those apps, from the back end, there are chances people may not be realizing sometimes they may not be using it. But if some notification goes to them through Teams itself, it might be handy.
Kiran, does the Jira app send a welcome message when we install it?
It does send a welcome message. Yeah, good point. To get something beyond the welcome message, you'll need to log in. But initially, when you install the app, it does send out a little tour and guide. So users will see it.
Ram, in your organization, let's say a few hundred or a few thousand users that we want to install the app from the admin center. The moment we install it, the Jira app, which has a chat section to it, it'll actually send them a message saying, hey, welcome to Jira, sign in and start using it. So that will actually be that notification from Jira saying, hey, this app is available for you to start using.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and we can work with you on that as well. These are like really good questions and part of how we can help with the adoption.
Right. That would be great help. Yeah,
for sure. Thanks.
I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. There was another question. I see a hand raised by GB Babu. If you have a question for us.
Yeah, hello. So
Hi.
what I see is, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. So what I see is, the various instances, as in, there's various channels and each channel has a Jira Cloud kind of extension attached to it. So suppose I'm working with various teams, right? I want to see a cumulative report of what is assigned to me or something of that sort. How do I get that populated? Because this, what I see is, suppose I go to a design team or a testing team, right? So I go to individual instance of the individual channels, and then I have to see as to what is being linked to me, right? So if I want to see a cumulative kind of a report or, a view as to what has been, you're getting my point.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I think I was jumping into that portion.
I was going to say, Raghav's going to answer that with the demo. That's a really good question. Raghav, go for it.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, just to reiterate, Nestor received a comment here. We converted Teams chat into a Jira issue. Then Lee accepted it. We triggered notifications. We were able to personalize the notifications as well. And we also reached out to design team through the Teams, Jira app and all that, right? We posted the context and everything. So now let's see. And also we added the extension to the meeting. We were able to see the progress in the side panel, or probably assign points and work collaboratively to make changes and all that. So there's one more option here. So for example, after a few days, Lee would like to know the tickets that are assigned to him and all that. He can go to this tab. Probably the right place would be go to the Jira app, and you will be able to see issues, and you will be able to find you can change the filter as well. So currently filter is all open issues. So I can go and change this to something like issues assigned to me, right? So if you save it, I mean, automatically saves it. You can see all the issues that are assigned to me, and I can take action or probably click on it and make changes and edit changes and all that. This is more from the individual context, right? So if you want to do the same thing for the team, so you can go to here in the design team, you have an option to add a tab. In this, you can select, you can change the filtering as well, the status and everything. This is more for the team to work collaboratively, all the issues assigned to their team and what they are working on. This gives context from the team standpoint, and the app, personalized app gives context from the personally assigned, tickets assigned to individual user. So that is something that you can do. And other than that, there's another way of finding out. If you type in help in the chat, so you will be able to find various options available for you. So one example would be find. You can type in something like find, checkout, or something like that. You can type in keyword or ticket number or anything like that. It will basically bring in the results, and you can go ahead and comment and so on and so forth. And open edit issues. Again, the same flow for this. So yes, you can add this into Teams as a tab, and you can also go ahead and find. And other than that, there are various things like configuration, notifications, find, support, feedback. And I think find will be the most used one. Quickly search Jira issues by typing key phrases or issue keys and all that. So that's the overall thing. And also, other than that, I don't have a demo for it, but you can use connectors. So where you can push notifications into Teams through inbound connection or webhook or anything like that. So that's Jira side configuration that you can do. You can generate a link and all that. So that's also possible, right? So that covers all the scenario. Kiran, anything that I left or anything that you want to add other than this? All good?
No, yeah, just to add on to that comment you made about connectors, if you use the Jira connector and you want to set up some, it'll, based on whatever you configure it, it'll come into the team channel, and you can adjust those to create a post and make changes directly from a channel post or thread. So as a team, you can work on different issues and items. Different people can update on the same item and so on. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Raga, if I were to sort of summarize, we've got the Jira app, which you can use as a personal user, which is you just interacting with the Jira app within Teams, where you can chat with the application, get exactly what you're showing on the right side, where you get notified on things that you want to be notified about, and you want to find new things. You interact with the chat bot over here, and you've got the tab where you've got a summary of all the issues that you want to have a personal view of that's assigned to you. So you've got this personal view, and then comes all the collaborative views where you're able to add the app to a channel and get the entire channel notified about changes that are happening there. Add a tab to the channel as well, so that everybody in the channel is aware of all the issues that they need to work on. So everybody has a single view of things that are happening on a specific project or like a specific stream of work. And when it comes to really collaborating real time and adapting, you've got your meeting experience. So within the meeting also, you can open up the project, open up work items, and then update them on the go.
Yeah, and also personalize the notifications. If there are too many notifications, you can uncheck few of the notifications and all that. Yeah. And yeah, I think Yeah, those are the things that you can do.
Yeah,
And
that
it
sort of
can-
creates an all-round experience within teams. So wherever you are within teams, and depending on how your organization's working style is, your project team's setup is, you have the app meeting you there, whether it's a
Yeah,
channel or a
absolutely.
chat or a meeting. Yeah. Sorry, you were going to say
Absolutely.
something.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's correct. So, yeah.
One question. Through this view option by the Jira, whether we can able to download that all task detail in Excel format?
I don't
You
think
want
we have that option today in the Teams app itself. Probably you might need to go to that Jira site itself to download. Probably, yeah. That option is not available.
yeah, any reason why you would need that?
Summarize for after that, suppose I assigned multiple tasks to multiple user, and after that I want to data analysis what task is particular one group. Suppose I want to filter the tree basis, one tree, and then that is connected with that B, and B is connected with the C. So what is the summary level if we want to see the summary? This is the line item wise, correct?
Correct.
These are line item wise. So line item wise, if you see the line item, so it is very difficult to know which task is related to which task. For that analysis purpose or that cumulative purpose or reporting purpose.
Not
Kiran,
in the
I don't
Teams.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, not in
the
Teams, but yeah, maybe I might ask Kiran if that is something that is planned or has been asked before.
Good question. I haven't heard of this asked before, but I'll take a note of it and talk to the Jira team. But to my knowledge, this is not a capability that's supported here. If even if it is, you'd have to go to the website to export that directly from Jira. But yeah, that's not enabled from the app, Jira app.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question.
This is
I had
here. Just one quick question.
Yeah, so Samal, if you don't mind, actually Nageshwaran had raised his hand quite a while back. I've not given him an opportunity. So
Yeah, thanks, Harish. Yeah. So besides Jira, what you have demonstrated right now, so is there any way that we can do the same for Azure DevOps and GitHub?
yes, we have apps for Azure DevOps within Teams. We have the GitHub app also within Teams. That both these apps come with a long list of capabilities. As Raghav is showing you right now, if you go to the App Store within Teams, you would see the apps on the left bar, and you click on it, and you can search and find the Azure app, Azure Workflows, the connector, the very similar end-to-end or all-in-one experience within Teams for both the apps.
Okay.
Yeah. A supplement to this question is how similar or different it is from an Azure DevOps, this thing, right? Because essentially we are doing similar kind of things in DevOps, wherein assigning tasks, getting summaries and, reassigning tasks and putting comments and all these things, right? So how, and both of them are Microsoft stack only. So what differentiates the two products essentially is my question.
You're asking what differentiates
Yeah, so
these
essentially,
apps or
yeah. So what's the scenario wherein if I am using an Azure DevOps, right? I'm mostly doing these things as in assigning tasks and, kind of reviewing, putting comments and all these things. And Jira also gives me a subset of basically the things that I'm doing in Azure DevOps, right? So as in there is a scenario as in when to use what or something of that sort.
I could take this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if I can recommend what to use where, but yeah, sorry, go for it, Kiran.
Yeah, my take based on what you're asking is that Jira and Azure DevOps are two separate products and built with different needs in mind. They do overlap in some cases, like doing issue tracking or bug tracking, but there are some features available in Jira that's not in Azure DevOps, and similarly not they're on Azure DevOps and not in Jira. Jira is built by Atlassian, not by Microsoft, and then Azure DevOps is a Microsoft product. But both have apps within Teams. So depending on what your organization uses for issue or bug tracking outside of Teams, you should be using that same app inside of Teams, and that's how you can do the collaboration much better.
Yeah, so that's a nice way to put it. Depending on the use case and depending on the need for your organization, it could be GitHub, it could be Jira, it could be DevOps, or it could be a whole other application. Because for these product development or project management scenarios, if you go to the store, the app store that we're looking at on the screen right now, there are a lot of other applications as well. So depending on your need, when you pick the app, you have the capability of using it within Teams. Somil, you had a question?
Yeah, I had a question specifically on the GSM part. So wherein if suppose if an organization is driving a project, and under that project there are suppose 5 or 6 teams involved, and in a kind of suppose workflow. Suppose one workflow completes, so then the second workflow should get assigned to the other team, the other member. Once the second workflow completes, it should get assigned to the third team and the third member. So those kind of integration of the Slack, is it possible through the Teams connector to GSM as well?
So there is another app in the store that connects to JSM directly. It's called the Atlassian Chat Ops. That's the app. It's different than Jira Cloud, but some of the notifications from JSM may also show up in Jira Cloud. But Anurag, if you can go to the store and search for Atlassian Chat Ops, that's the app that you should use for JSM. And the kind of the things that you were asking about, I'm not exactly sure if that's doable directly from the Teams app. You might, depending on how complex it is, you might have to go into the JSM website itself. But play with it, and if you have questions, let us know, and we can find answers.
Yeah, Somil, have you tried this app? This particular what
No,
you're
I
saying?
haven't tried, but
okay.
But happy to try it.
No, then yeah, for sure. Please do try this app and then reach out to us. We can obviously then connect the dots if we need more information.
All right, sure.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
GB Babu, I see your hand raised again. Do you have any more questions or?
No, that was for the previous one.
Okay,
Thanks.
okay. Yeah. Akshat.
Yeah, hi. Okay, just want to understand, this is only specific to the Jira Cloud or Jira Data Center also has a similar sort of activities for Microsoft Teams?
Yeah, good question. There is another app that works with the Jira Data Center. It's called Jira Server. It's very similar functionality, but if you're a Jira Data Center or Jira on-prem customer, then you should use this app on Teams instead.
Okay, and other than integration with the task as well as the Scrum or something, when we're integrating with any other tool like, for example, if I take a Dynatrace as one of an monitoring tool, we're integrating Microsoft Teams with that by using Jira. Okay. Is there any capability to differentiate the channels, because we have installed that and later on identified everything is getting flushed into one single channel. There is no way to differentiate as per the severity or priority. So any capability, the Microsoft Teams that can be done with the help of Jira add-on?
Yeah, this one is where I think it would depend on the exact integration. So what happens here is that anything that's on your Jira instance, or whether it's server or on cloud, those would get channeled in. If you have customizations in Jira, that like Dynatrace that you mentioned, I'm not sure to what extent you can customize it. So this might be something that if you try it out and you find out it's not available, put in a customer request with Jira to add that capability into the app as well. But I'm not sure if it might actually be possible. I just haven't tried that exact scenario where you because I haven't played with the Dynatrace integration.
We tried to get it clarified from the Atlassian, but they also said that separation of channels is not possible. So that's the one thing that we then had to remove this integration, and even the license cost was too high. So just wanted to know if such possibilities are there in the going forward in near future or something, then we would like to go for it once again.
Got it. I'll take a note of it. So as I understand, you'd like to be able to customize the level of notifications coming from Jira into a particular channel. And
yes,
because you're not able to do that, you had to remove it, right? Because it was too noisy.
Yes.
I will take a note and talk to the Jira folks about it, but right now it sounds like we don't have a fix for you. So sorry about that.
Okay. Oh, thanks, Kiran.
Thanks for the question. Ram Kumar, I see your hand raised. Did you have a question?
Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
possible to create subtask in Jira through
Teams.
in Teams through Teams? Yeah.
I am not sure, actually. I don't think so.
Reason is like say whatever issues, epic, those kind of you can say top level work items you can create. But when you create subtask, it is like under either like say task or issues, whatever you will create as a child kind of. So wherein doesn't have direct options to create from Teams, or we might be missing it.
Yeah, it looks like Raghav's trying to find out.
Okay.
I don't know if you've
Yeah.
heard this asked before, like from
I
other
think
classes.
you can create, I mean, as soon as you click on create issue in Jira, it will provide you an option to select the project, and then it will ask you to select the type. It's taking a few minutes to load here, but you can select the issue type like task or this thing. There is no subtask here. So I think it will go in as a task, top level task, I guess.
Yeah, but that we have tested only this creating subtask we couldn't see. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So let me see if I can load it here just to kind of let's see, create an issue here. Yeah, it's task only, not a subtask. And yeah, probably I might be missing as well. So give us some time. Probably we'll check and get back to you. Is that okay, Ram?
Yeah.
Sure.
That's fine.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Or Kiran, then this becomes another ask that you can, bring to the
Definitely
table.
taking a note of that as well. Yeah, I'm going to
And
try it out.
Okay, awesome. We've got Rachit, if you raised your hand.
Yeah, hi guys.
Hey.
Just want to understand. So we have a requirement. So suppose there are some Jira fields based upon dates. Okay. So can I have notifications based upon date? So if I want to understand this Jira story is, and I have created a field in Jira called suppose a target end date. There's a field target end date. Okay. So in case Jira story or any Jira issue type is not getting closed on that specific date, I am or the person tagged is getting a notification. Is such kind of feature in your roadmap or currently available? So ideally, somewhere I am looking at is with respect to the project management perspective, where I
Deadlines.
am getting So this is an important kind of notification. Most of the notifications which I see are with respect to allocations.
Is this something that you're able to set up in Jira on the website directly?
So currently, I haven't explored that. If it is possible, then it will be feasible here also.
Not necessarily. So there are some integrations that Jira, you can do it on the website itself, where you can set up custom rules. But if it's something by not built into Jira directly, if it's something outside of it, then it will not work in Teams directly because it's a Jira specific feature. But if it's not related to any external integration and it's a built-in Jira functionality, then whatever notification you have will flow through here as well.
Okay. Second question was with respect to the dashboards. So usually my at my level or at a management level, we prefer to see the dashboards. So can the Jira dashboards, which is the inbuilt capability of Jira, can those dashboards also be extracted here?
So I haven't tried this, but you could, in theory, not use a Jira app, but attach a website as a tab and then put in the Jira dashboard link and then log in, and each user should be able to see the dashboard in that way.
So can I be able to do that in Teams?
Yes. And so what you would do is like Raghu was about to show, you would take this URL and go to Teams.
But this is not like an app capability, right, Kiran, at the moment? Like
Right,
the
exactly.
dashboard part of it.
It will be only a web view. There will be no interface. Am I correct?
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Okay.
It'll be like loading the website and
website.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay, thanks, guys.
Okay, awesome. Hey, thank you all for all the fantastic questions. I'm just gonna quickly take the last few minutes. Raghav, I'm gonna steal screen if that's okay.
Sure.
Harish, we have one hand raised by Rachit. Do you want to take up that question?
Then we have taken that question.
We just spoke to
Thanks.
Rachit.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I have one last quick question. If you allow,
Okay.
I'll just put it on. Right. So being an IT organization, and I mean, I've been here for last 14 to 15 years. The challenge what I've seen here, be it any tool, be it any process, or be it any technology, it's the execution, right? So something in terms of the execution tracking, are we thinking of where we can expedite the execution flow itself?
The execution flow from
Execution, yeah, the execution of the entire tasks basically. So all these tools are for the tracking and for the betterment of the coordination. But what I'm asking is, I mean, is there any integration we can also do for tracking of these executions as well? Like if those, I mean, see, so there are multiple states of a workflow, like the desired state where the actual outcome will be driven, the inputs which are something which will be required from the user, and the output is something which is the desired which should match with the desired state itself, right? So I mean, so all these are a part of the execution phases altogether, right? But I mean, what I could see here is like there are some integrations with the Microsoft Teams, so that everyone can have the visibility at one place instead of visiting multiple tools altogether, right? But up to certain extent, so that execution is still something we need to integrate here.
I think some of those sorry, Kiran.
Yeah, if I can take a stab at this, I think the solution there is to use tools like Jira and analytics to look at how quickly tasks are being done or milestones are being met. So you can use analytics and tools like Jira or Azure DevOps to track the productivity of your team. And you could even do that before the Teams app is being used, and then after the Teams app is being used to see how is collaboration helping your team be more productive and do things faster. But most of these tools provide analytics that'll help you track how quickly the execution is being done and what you can do to improve on that. Hopefully that helps.
All right, understand. Thank you.
Thanks, Somal. Thank you all. These were some fantastic questions. Thanks, Raghav, for the demo. Thanks, Kiran, for staying with us for the entire segment. Thank you all for joining us. This is the proactive offer as next steps. We've got a form that we'll put up in the chat, and we will also send it across via email. Based on what you've seen today, if you want to enable Jira for your organization, just fill up. It's a very simple form. It's pretty straightforward. You can fill this up. Just let us know what app you want to enable and how quickly you want to enable it, and then we will get our resources aligned to set up dedicated sessions with you guys. Help in how you can questions around like how we can help the admin to install the app for everybody, pin it up for everyone, and so people can start using it right away and see maximum value and see returns in terms of like productivity and efficiency. With that being said, thank you so much. I hope this session was helpful, and we will see you again next time for more such sessions.